Happy Friday, Rocket followers. Tina here, and I wanted to welcome you to the first weekly news roundup for the Space Coast Rocket. This week's roundup will cover highlights from last Saturday, May 24th, through today, May 31st. So last weekend officially kicked off the rainy season here in Brevard County. We got thunderstorms, we got a small water spout, we even got a tornado and hail in Palm Bay. So this was officially the start of rainy season. This season lasts through the end of October. So tied to that, just a friendly reminder that the Brevard County ordinance banning the application of fertilizer on residential properties goes into effect this Sunday, June 1st, and remains in effect through September 30th. This fertilizer ban coincides with Florida's rainy season because thousands of pounds of pollutants enter the Indian River Lagoon from excess fertilizer applications during the heavy rains. This causes algae blooms that kill seagrasses and other marine life. So please do your part and hold off on any further fertilizer applications for the next 4 months or so. Now, earlier this week, there was also a fire reported at the Aldi's on the corner of O'Galley and A1A in Indialantic. The fire was reported as arson, and the perpetrator also attacked a construction worker before fleeing the scene. Adding to this, reports mentioned a man on the roof next to the burning Aldi's who allegedly attacked the manager of the nearby Texas Roadhouse. Law enforcement responded with rifles, shields, and drones in the air. As of this broadcast, the suspect is still at large. And in another major national decision this week, the Supreme Court has allowed the Trump administration to revoke temporary legal status for over 500,000 immigrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. The policy was originally put in place by the Biden administration and gave individuals permission to live and work in the U.S. for 2 years while their immigration cases were processed. These immigrants will now no longer have that protection. Now today, a new civil lawsuit that accuses the Diocese of Orlando as well as St. Joseph Catholic Church and St. Joseph Catholic School in Palm Bay of negligence tied to decades of alleged child sexual abuse by former priest Robert Hoffner. The abuse is now linked to the shocking triple murder in Palm Bay earlier this year when Brandon Kappas fatally shot Hoffner, his sister, and his own grandfather before being killed by police. Survivor Sean Tuber, who filed the lawsuit, claims Hoffner abused him as a student as well. The lawsuit seeks $25 million, alleging the diocese ignored long-standing warnings about Hoffner's behavior. The diocese has not yet responded publicly on the matter. Now, on Monday, Memorial Day, we had an extremely sad event occur on I-95. There was a horrible crash involving the 32-year-old mother of 3, Olivia Maggs. Olivia deceased in the crash, and her 3 children were rescued by Good Samaritans that stopped by the scene of the accident. What reportedly happened was a Ford F-350 blew a tire, ran into Olivia's car, pushed that car into the median, and the car exploded on fire. Now, the day after the accident, friends and family started a GoFundMe page to help raise money to cover the medical bills for the children and to just assist the family in general with this tragedy. As of today, that page has raised nearly $200,000. It remains active, and I will put a link on the screen if you would like to contribute. I also had the pleasure of doing an interview with one of the 2 women who climbed into the minivan to rescue those 3 children. She talks about her experience and other ways to remain safe during such an incident and how bystanders can help when they see a crash on the side of the road. If you'd like to see that interview, you can find it on our website. In national news this week, the World Health Organization has declared that they no longer recommend vaccinations for pregnant women or children moving forward. Also in national news this week, a federal trade court blocked Donald Trump from using emergency powers to impose sweeping tariffs on imports. The court ruled that his use of the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act to justify global tariffs exceeded his legal authority. Trump had claimed that the trade deficit constituted a national emergency, allowing him to bypass Congress with the decision on the tariffs. The court sided with businesses and states states who argued that the law wasn't intended for such broad power. The Trump team is expected to repeal. Another fatal accident was reported later in the week when there was a collision between two motorcyclists and a passenger vehicle that killed 40-year-old Joshua Risby Garcia from Palm Bay. In more local business news, Hurricane Creek in downtown Melbourne has now changed its name to The Creek after a facelift and makeover by John Taffer and the show Bar Rescue. While NDA restrictions prevent revealing specific details of the makeover, the ownership shared that the name is a nod to a local geographic history and also serves as a deeply personal tribute to the owner's late father, who referred to the restaurant as The Crick. The Creek is now open for business. In other good news this week, we had our first photo contest of the year. We asked local residents to submit their favorite pictures of their high school graduates. Most graduations happened in the last couple of weeks here in Brevard County. We received nearly 1,000 entries from local residents, and the winner was Lisa McBee, who posted a picture of Oscar Ellis IV, who is the class president at Heritage High School. He received over 137 votes, and Lisa won a $200 Publix gift card presented by our sponsor for the contest, Yude's Painting and Handyman Services. We also wanted to take a moment to congratulate School Resource Officer Corporal Greta Valiente Smith, honoring 23 years of dedicated service to the city of Satellite Beach and also serving as the resource officer for Delora Middle School. Now, the Brevard County Sheriff's Office needs your help in identifying someone. So take a look at this picture. They are looking for information on the whereabouts of Leonard Samaj Woods, who's wanted in connection with the shooting that left a 2-year-old hospitalized with a gunshot wound to the leg. If you have any information about Leonard, please call Crime Line at 1-800-423-8477. And finally, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend with your kids, the Brevard Library's Summer Reading Kickoff is happening. There's a big party at the Cocoa Library. I've got information on the screen here. This is taking place on Saturday from 10 to 1. There's face painting, food trucks, live music, a blacklight disco, fairy hair, bubble science. The kids are going to love it. So the event takes place at 304 Forest Avenue in Cocoa. Go check it out tomorrow. Well, that wraps up our news headline roundup for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you here next Friday.